All right. Well, good evening. Today we are going to review the CAP 2. Um, yeah, so let's do it. Who wants to go first? I guess I will. How about that?
Sure.
All right. So I had the honor and the pleasure of reviewing Chris. And like always, information and content are aligned with the task. The rubric strengths. All aspects of the rubric were met. The rubric has been successfully unpacked with a great amount of data. All data is purposeful and very well analyzed. The survey created is in direct correlation with the TWC findings and great idea to add Title I information. Weaknesses, I have no critiques at this time. Your paper is nicely written. It is an easy read and all aspects of the rubric has been addressed thoroughly, creating and aligning the survey questions that reflect the TWC data and selecting members to respond to the survey is how you showed your leadership. And I was unable to find any issues with grammar, mechanics, or spelling. And for organization, as so usual, your paper's well organized, easy to read, no fluff, and always straight to the point. As far as your APA formatting, it seems to be aligned and sources are properly cited in the APA format. So kudos to you.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice, easy, and sweet. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Catherine, you want me to do your paper next?
Yeah, go for it.
Excellent. I enjoyed reading it. It was very insightful, very eye-opening, and I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really do, because your staff members, like when I was reading your survey results, they're being very real. Like they're not griping. They're not, just giving these hollow, empty, catty things. I mean, those are very fixable things that they want done, and I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
So down to content, I thought the artifact is definitely aligned. The candidate gave a thorough explanation of school environment, visual data on attendance, short-term suspensions, the students per internet device ratio, proficiency comparisons, read to achieve information, and book resources that students have. Candidate also gave thorough information on staff perceptions from the TWC with qualitative data in this task. Then I also went on to say that these were kind of paraphrased from the actual teacher working condition survey to ones that you would convey to the staff and kind of add a more positive, not that they were negative from the TWC, but give a happier connotation to it. Candidate gave a background on teachers involved in this task, so I knew what your team looked like of the teachers you interviewed, because I think somewhere there you wanted to do the staff, but the principal kind of said, hey, we're going to minimize it down to a handful of people. So it was a nice mix and hodgepodge, a very well-rounded cohort that you picked. Candidate also gave visuals on the overall climate at her school with a graphic representation, as well as a trust survey. And I really enjoyed reading and going through the checks on the trust survey at your school. Now, your school is one you told me, I think, where you have to sign a contract, or your district makes you sign something basically saying you're going to work here for 3 years, correct?
Yeah, you're not eligible to transfer to another school unless you've worked at the same school for 3 years straight.
Now, is that something that pertains just to the international school at Gregory, or is that in your...
That's the whole county. We had,
okay.
For the last 10 years, there's been 4 or 5 schools that have a really high turnover. And basically the school board got tired of these same couple schools having such high turnover and having to deal with everybody wanting to transfer.
Yeah.
So their solution was just say, well, you can't transfer except every 3 years.
So I've been at board meetings in our district where the HR person, they do this every year. They go over our turnover rate, and they literally have graphs of the reasons why people leave. Do they do that? Because, where we live, we have this cohort. I don't know why we have this cohort. We have some kind of cohort with a college up in Ohio. And there's times where people leave because they miss home or they want to go back to their families or whatever. But they also, our district will say people weren't happy because of these things, and they try to adjust some of those things. That does happen. It's
Well, in our district, you have to stay at the school for 2 years before you can transfer.
Yeah, that would be makes sense to me. If there's a high turnover at certain schools and you're seeing that over 10 years it's the same schools over and over and over again, and there's a trend there, then to me it would make more sense to figure out why there's such high turnover and address that issue
Yeah.
instead of, well, now you're just stuck there for 3 years, so we don't have to deal with it except every 3 years. Because now what's happening is, like me, this is my second year there, and next year will be my third, so I'll be eligible for a transfer. Although if I get an administrative position, I can move. If you go up in like
Right,
pay
you can
raise,
go up,
you can transfer.
right.
But I know the year that I went on at my school, then there were 33 other people that had joined the staff the same year.
Wow.
What's going to happen is, everybody's going to hit their 3-year mark, and they're all going to be eligible for transfers, and the school board's still going to be overwhelmed with people who want to move. It's just going to be every 3 years.
How big is your district?
I don't know. I know our county is like the smallest in North Carolina, but we're very dense. We have a lot of schools.
Okay.
So there's a lot.
What is your county?
Hmm?
Is it New Hanover? What's your
Yeah.
county? New Hanover? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a smaller county, but there's a lot of stuff going on in such a small county, and they're still growing. Like right now, they're talking about we're building another elementary school on the other side of town. So there's a lot of schools, just it's really a small area.
Okay. I'm getting us off task. I'm sorry. So rubric strength, the candidate gave the narrative and graphic representation that depicts and conveys the school's environment of the candidate school. The qualitative data, like the survey feedback and the data was shown in the task. There were descriptions of the school environment, graphs of student achievement. So you put the proficiency levels. I think you kind of screenshotted that from the school report card. The qualitative data is graphically also represented and explained. Throughout the narrative, I think you had that wheel graph, a couple different wheel graphs. I don't know where you get that from. I like that though. And there's also a video that you embedded into it. So I watched your video. You're presenting of your Zoom recording, basically just going through your paper and some of the graphs from that. Rubric weaknesses. I found, according to the rubric, that there could be more information on the staff cultural diversity. That is something that it did request, that if you look at the rubric, to go up to a level 4. However, when I reflected back, I didn't even do it in my paper, and it turned out okay. But there's not, I couldn't find anything on my school. Like, I have to do the legwork myself to see the cultural diversity. Like, we have people from Venezuela, Jamaica, different parts of the U.S., South America, El Salvador, Canada. I mean, we got people, but I know that because I have asked them and talked to them, and we don't have like a sheet somewhere or a database that has that. So I don't know, other than your own legwork, how you would do that. Leadership, you definitely demonstrated leadership by the candidate. You check with your principal/supervisor off the bat to say, can I give these survey questions out? And then they kind of narrowed it down to a smaller cohort. You get the qualitative feedback from the survey questions that were aligned to the teacher working conditions survey. You spoke for the staff based on the feedback and recommendations that they gave. And you also gave your perceptions of how you felt based on this information that you accrued from the research and surveys that you did. Mechanics and grammar, this was fine. I did not see anything grammatically that was wrong. I did not see any errors. APA seemed fine. I know that's down the bottom. Your appendixes were fine. The references were good. And your insight, your texting in the paragraphs, or citing inside. I'm really tired. Sorry. Your citing inside the paragraphs were fine too. I'm so tired right now. Organization, the task was structured in a way where subheadings and information were very easily organized, aligned to the prompts. So it was easy to kind of pick and choose where you were at based on what the prompt was asking you to do. For easy, very cross-referencing as a proofreader. So if somebody's going to read this artifact, they'll kind of know if you had all the sections. So very nice job. It was only 22 pages.
That's a short for me.
Down 68 from the last time. Good stuff.
And I think mine was like maybe 12, maybe. I think.
Yeah, but that's the cover page and the.
Good job, Catherine.
We draw short straws to see who reads.
Yeah, I'll take it next time. I guess I'll take it next time.
I've already done my CAAP 3, and it's longer than my CAAP 2. Good.
Okay.
All right, Dan.
Hey.
All right.
I'll start tomorrow.
All right. So for Danielle, I said your task is aligned with course content. The candidate does a great job, not just getting into the material, but delving deeper and really breaking the data down. So you didn't just say, we have this much percent this, we have this, and then moved on. You actually went into it a little bit more. I said each idea the candidate introduces to the paper is presented with the data to support it from either the school report card or the teacher working conditions survey. So again, you supported everything you said with relevant data. I said for rubric strengths, This was, I guess it should have been in rubric weaknesses. Sorry, I was really tired when I did this. Just because it says in all task instructions, it states all rough forms of the data should be presented as visual evidence. So maybe since you did your survey, maybe just take a screenshot of the teachers' emails or something, like black out their names, so that way you could have like that rough form of the data. But I said, I really liked you stuck to the rubric. It was easy able to read. It was able to follow. Again, yours was much clearer than mine. And then rubric weaknesses. At the very end of your paper, you write, and I just quoted it, there are some areas that need some improvement. The process and systems that are currently in place are working. So I just said you might want to add just a few examples of what's not working. So it said some areas need improvement, just like maybe such as, and then just list one or two, just because the language was a little vague. I said your tables are very easy to read and interesting with great demographic data. For leadership, I put that you needed sending out the email. I really like how you've been selected or you've won or how you phrase that, because I'd open an email that said that. Wow, I'm unique. I get the special email. But you did show leadership by sending out the email to staff members, survey the response, and then you did take the time to actually assemble it to put it into the graphic representations via the tables. For mechanic and grammar, I said, I just had a question. Was the feedback in your table 7/survey, the one that you broke down the survey questions and the responses, were you like verbatim exactly what
Right.
they said?
That was a straight copy and paste from the Google form results to the table. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, some sentence structure and grammar is off. So your teachers. So
No,
was like,
that was very copy and paste-ish. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind that, because I actually said that's fine if it's just verbatim.
Yeah. Because I wanted them to be, as honest as possible. So I didn't want to try to, sugarcoat their words. If that's how they felt, then, that's how they felt.
Oh yeah, I completely. That was cool. I was
wrong, incorrect sentence structure and all.
As I read it, I could.
I am so sick of blah blah. Yeah.
I could hear their voices saying, right. Like, "Oh, that's how they talk." Okay, but just want to double check. I said all acronyms were explained, and other than the survey responses, which again were verbatim, I couldn't find any additional spelling or grammar errors. For organization, on page 8, your reference title page is at the bottom of the page, so just go in and hit enter. So then it's
okay.
The next page. And then your paper starts off with table 5, and I didn't know if that's because you had 4 tables in the task 1.
Task 1, yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if it was like a copy paste from another activity, and then we just needed to rechange it, or
just to make it flow, so I can trying to cut some steps before the big put together of the whole CAAP.
You're smarter than me, because I always just start over at 1, and then I'm like, I can go back and change it. APA formatting, I see that your references looked really good. Your APA citation in text and in the reference page was really well. I didn't see any errors. The only thing I said was that I see that you used your school report card as a source for some of your data, but it's not listed in your reference page.
Yeah, I noticed that after you said that. Have you all seen the way that they switched the new screen, or the way that it looks different on the NC report card? It's crazy. That's the screenshot that's in my paper. That came from the new version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, other than that, everything else was good. I was just, it was a good paper. It was easy to read. It was very to the point. And I liked reading your responses. They were better than mine.
Well, is there anything else for the good of the order? Because we made this very quick. Hey, this has been the longest week ever.
It has been long. So if I got that email right from Dr. Sanders, we basically in one document compile all the peer reviews that we've done and with the links in them, and we turn that in, and that's our grade for our peer reviews. Are we doing like the ones that we've done for somebody else, or like, for instance, Danielle, would I upload the ones that you sent me this week and Catherine sent me last, or do you guys
upload our own, or do I upload like yours?
Do we upload ones that people did for us, or do we upload the ones that we did for other people?
That's the question we need to ask.
Question. Yeah. Because
I don't know about that one.
I would think that it would be what we did for other people, because when I was
our work.
There, she was talking about how as an administrator you need to be able to evaluate other people. So I was thinking it was what we were doing for, like, I would give her Danielle's for this one.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I think we should probably still ask just to double check.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I'll stop recording. Hold on.
Well, it's documented that we're concerned about our grade.
Yeah.